Magnus Carlsen is known for being the greatest chess player of all time, but recently he lost his mother who was only 61. Magnus is known for his composure under incredible pressure during chess matches, perhaps because he rarely blunders, but he recently crashed out of the CrunchLabs Masters after losing to MVL and Ian Nepomniachtchi.
Magnus is losing everything here.
We saw Magnus playing the matches in this tournament from what looks like a random hotel room, and instead of using a computer and mouse, he was seen using only the touchscreen on an iPad, which is incredibly strange considering the prize pool for this tournament. During this match, he seems more stressed than usual and looks like he's having a rough time. Although he's the greatest chess player of all time, and he might seem almost robotic or computer-like, he is after all a human, and the loss of his fairly young mother due to cancer seems to have hit him really hard. No matter how old you are or how old your parents are, losing them is extremely painful, and when you're a guy like Carlsen who is at the top of his craft, it's hard for him to take a break, but it's also hard for him to maintain his level of chess while he's going through so much grief. When Magnus stepped away from the World Championship and the title was then won by Ding Liren in 2023, we saw a strange decline in Ding's performances. He's now ranked number 13 in the world, and is definitely not the favourite to win when he's challenged later this year for the World Championship by 17-year-old Gukesh. Despite leaving the World Championship because he doesn't like the format, Magnus has retained his number 1 ranking ever since. Magnus was born in Tønsberg, Norway in 1990, to his mother Sigrun and father Henrik. His mother worked as a chemical engineer and his father an IT consultant. Clearly born to intelligent parents, Magnus showed an aptitude for mind games at an early age. At 2 years old, he could complete 500-piece jigsaw puzzles. At 4 years old, he was completing Lego sets that were intended for kids 10 years older than him. His father taught Magnus chess at the age of 5, but Magnus wasn't overtly interested. Having 3 sisters, he said that his first motivation was actually beating his older sister at chess.
His older sister started to play, so he wanted to beat her, which he did, quickly.
His exceptional memory was observed when Magnus was a child. An incredible memory is required at the top level of chess, as it requires knowledge of tens of thousands of moves, lines, positions, and Magnus certainly had it in his locker as a young boy. He was able to recall locations, populations, flags, capitals of every country in the world at only age 5. Think of what you were doing at age 5. He memorized everything about Norway's 356 municipalities. At 8 years old, he played his first tournament and scored 6 out of 11 points. He was then coached at the Norwegian College of Elite Sport by the country's best player at the time, Simon Agdestein. At the age of 9, Magnus's rating rose dramatically, from 904 to 1907. If you don't know anything about the chess ELO rating system, that's like going from a fairly decent beginner to being in the top 1% of chess players in the world. The incredible neuroplasticity of a child's mind allows them to learn things better than most adults, but still, this rating climb is insane. Magnus eventually became a Grandmaster at the age of 13.
He's the one to watch, and he's going to, that he's at the moment the youngest Grandmaster in the world.
There are less than 2,000 Grandmasters in the world, despite there being well over 100 million people who frequently play chess. Magnus just never stopped improving until he was on top of the entire planet. Even though Magnus is the best player in the world, he's also a fan favourite for other reasons, often showing up late to tournaments and frantically jogging to shake his opponent's hand and make his first move. Usually when Magnus shows up late, he wins, in typical Magnus style. Like this game where he used 2.5 minutes on the clock, leaving him with only 30 seconds left. And somehow he won. He's also known for his random live streams where he'll get drunk, sometimes with a DJ in the background, and he'll play opponents online. In this clip, he takes over the game in a losing position, going on to checkmate the opponent.
Get me. So I cranked up and followed her to the floor. She cranked and said, I said, yeah. Oh boy. What the fuck is happening to my body or my intellectuality?
Oh, GG.
There we go.
Sometimes he'll even show up to online tournaments wearing his underwear or eating some food like a little mouse.
I mean, maybe he doesn't realize it's his move.
These moments really seem to help Magnus's reputation in the eyes of the fans. He even admitted during a lie detector test that he's played a tournament match while drunk.
Have you ever played a competitive game while drunk?
Yes. He's telling the truth.
From the outside, it looks like Magnus has everything. Millions of dollars, a great supportive family, many friends, many fans around the globe, but now he's missing a critical link in the chain. His mother. Maybe he's missing her words of encouragement, her text messages of good luck before his games, her voice. Losing his mother has clearly devastated him. I can't imagine the mental pressure of having to perform like the world #1 while your mind is going through so much grief. Chess can be incredibly stressful and tough on the mind. It's given me my fair share of stress and I'm nowhere near Magnus's level. During the last year and a half, I dedicated myself to improving at chess as a beginner. I climbed up into the top 0.9% of players worldwide, and I'm very happy with how far I've come. But I can definitely say from experience that chess becomes more stressful at the higher levels. People say that chess is meant to be fun, and that's true. For most people it is. It's just a game, right? For advanced players and masters of chess particularly, I think it's the opposite of a game. These people do not come home from a stressful day at the office, put their feet on the sofa and play chess to unwind. The ancient game of chess for them enters the form of a science, a series of calculations, a vast mental library of lines, theory, openings, endgames, middle game tactics, etc. Chess for these players becomes an endless turmoil. Chess itself is basically endless, with there being a near infinite amount of positions on the board. 64 squares, 32 pieces, 16 for white, 16 for black. White moves first. Despite having an incredible knowledge of openings, your fellow Grandmaster opponent can smack you right in the face by making a move that takes you into unfamiliar territory. There's a point in almost every game where one player or both deviate from memory and start playing on intuition. These chess players actually partake in other activities to unwind from chess. And Magnus likes to lift weights, play golf, drink with friends, and hike. It's really not a game for him. It's a stressful, painful job, more stressful than 99% of jobs, maybe even harder than being a CEO. The former American world champion and chess legend Bobby Fischer actually lost his mind and just went insane.
Yes, I do. You know, when I was watching the recent film about Bobby Fischer, I was thinking, you know, is this going to be me in a few years? I don't think that's going to happen, but you know, it made me think a little bit that, you know, I have to be aware of this at least.
I can't help but admire how most Grandmasters not only get to the level where they are, but maintain a healthy mind at the same time. Albert Einstein was so insane that his wife would have to slide his dinner under the door while he was busy. Magnus is definitely most people's favourite chess player, but is he relatable to us? Would he be happier if he had a normal childhood? What has he lost by being this incredible genius? Would Magnus benefit from retiring from chess? Maybe he would, but that's not what any of us want to see. His winning instinct wouldn't let him quit now because he's in too deep. He's too good, he's too incredible. All of this is exactly why I'm worried about Magnus. Not that he really cares what I think, but even if he drops dead or retires tomorrow, he'll still be the eternal GOAT in many people's eyes. Thanks for watching.